The new championship season is just a few days away and it's time to go ahead and throw ourselves back into some championship fantasy football. In today's video I'm going to be building my first draft for the upcoming season and you guys can get involved with the fantasy football as well. In the description down below you will find the link to the website and also a league code where you can go ahead and join the Ben HD YouTube League for the upcoming season. It's going to be plenty of fun. Also, if you want to get involved with a smaller playing pool of players, you can sign up for the Patreon as well, where you can go join the Patreon exclusive league. Over on the Patreon, you can get a couple of other cool perks as well. You'll get entry into a Discord chat, and also you'll get to join the Prediction League for the upcoming season as well. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and build my team. So we'll build our team from the back and go forwards. We're obviously given a budget of 100 million and we have to compile our starting 11 and subs bench from that funding. A lot of the goalkeepers, the higher end ones, do catch my eye, but I always like to cheap out a little bit on the keepers so that I can afford a little bit more at the top end of the pitch. I also like the idea this season of having two goalkeepers who are going to play week in, week out, so that I can rotate them depending on who's got the easier fixture each week. So in and around the sort of 5.55 million mark is where I'm looking for a lot of my goalkeepers. The first one I think I'm going to pick up is Victor Johansson. He was one of, if not the best keepers in the league last season for Rotherham, kept 13 clean sheets and also made more saves than any other championship goalkeeper. So when looking for a few of those bonus points, Johansson is definitely a keeper who I could see racking up those throughout the season. Then I would ideally like another goalkeeper who is going to be playing most weeks. I'm sort of between Seny Dieng, who I'm assuming is going to be Bru's number one, or Max O'Leary from Bristol City. As Bristol City have a slightly easier start to the season, I think I'm going to go with O'Leary as my secondary goalkeeper, and I'll sort of keep on switching those two out depending on who's got the better fixture. Into the defenders we go, and starting out I am going to go with one of the big boys. I'm going to go for Ryan Manning. He knows how to work under Russell Martin. He's going to be going into what should be a decent defence in Southampton as well, and his creative numbers last season for Swansea were absolutely excellent. So when it comes to a goal threat, producing those assists, Manning is someone who I can see topping a lot of those charts once again. Van Ujic from Coventry, a signing I really like the look of. Now, whether or not he'll be immediately thrown into that starting 11, it does remain to be seen, but he scored 6 goals in the Eredivisie last season, looks absolutely rapid down that right hand side and definitely will provide a goal threat for Cov. So he's someone that I like the look of for 6 million. Joe Rankin-Costello have to put in for just 5.5 million. Last season did a little bit of digging into the Blackburn Rovers stats. Only Ben Broughton Diaz averaged more shots per game than Rankin-Costello did, and considering he's the defender on this game who's going to be utilised all over the pitch for Blackburn, I think he is a bit of a no-brainer for me. I do think Ipswich are in for a really good season, and Leif Davis at just 5 million I think is a brilliant pickup. He got 14 assists in League One last season, and the potential for more attacking returns this season in the Championship makes me really tempted to throw him into my side. Then as my last defender for the time being, I'm going to go for Coulson in at Middlesbrough. As of recording, he seems to be their only natural option down that left-hand side. I know that Carrick has experimented a little bit, I think in pre-season with Riley McGree maybe in that left wing-back role, but as things stand right now, Coulson seems like the natural fit into that position. So for a starter in that Middlesbrough defence at just 4.5 million, I like the look of that one. But I think there's a decent range in there of defenders who are going to get attacking returns as well as defenders who are going to play in solid defensive units, and we've still got 62.5 million left over to build the rest of our team with the midfield and attack. I am going to go big with a couple of my midfielders, not quite at the very top end. You've got James Ward-Prowse there at 11 million, Teller at 10.5. If he does stay at Southampton, I think that could be a really good option. 17 goals for Burnley last season. Nonto at 10 million, Swift and Wallace in there as well. I'm looking around the 9 million mark though. I'm going to go for Jack Clark as my first midfield. I think there'll be even more of an onus on him to produce the numbers this season with Diallo no longer there. Second half of last season for Sunderland, he was absolutely electric, and I've got a feeling he could even go on to improve from his numbers last season. So Clark at 9 million, I really like the look of. I also like the look of Sinisterra in at 9 million as well. Now, if he can stay fit and he is still a Leeds player come the end of the transfer window, I think he has a shout in there to be the Championship Player of the Season this time around. I think that his overall ability is at a level above the Championship, and it's just really circumstance that he's found himself in this position because of injury and Leeds being relegated, things like that. But those two, my big sort of outlays in midfield, I'm pretty happy with. My other three midfielders, I think I'm going to go a little bit more gambly with them in terms of what they could become this season. Christian Fassnacht in at Norwich. I do like the look of. He's got an excellent scoring record coming over from Young Boys, and if he can get anywhere near replicating that sort of record for Norwich this season at 7 million, I think he could be a really good pickup. I'm going to have to throw at least one Preston player into my team, as I always do. I'm going to go with Mads Frøykaay Jensen. He showed in pre-season a few glimpses of class, particularly against Aberdeen, where he scored 2 goals from outside the box. He is going to be someone who looks to be that link man between our midfield and attack, loves a shot from range as well. And at 6 million, I think that's a gamble I'm willing to take on him. Final midfielder, I've gone a little bit cheaper for. I'm going to go with Fred Onyedinma in at Rotherham. He'll only cost you 5.5 million. I think he'll be someone looking to be involved with the goals and assists for Rotherham. Already shown with Luton, very capable player at this level, and he'll more often than not be a bench option from me, but I think a solid one nonetheless for about 5.5 mil. And then that leaves me with 26 million to go ahead and build up the rest of my attack, and this is the area where I like to throw a lot of my money into usually. Looking at some of the top priced forwards at the moment, Iheanacho, the most expensive forward at 11.5. You've got Adams at 11 with Akpom as well, Vardy and Adam Armstrong at 10 million, along with Bamford and Perrault. Out of all these top forwards at the moment, I'm quite tempted to go with Adam Armstrong. I'm not quite set on who my forward three is going to be come the start of the season, but this is what I've sort of settled on for the time being. Armstrong, I know it's not quite clicked from a goal scoring sense in a Southampton shirt so far, but playing in this Russ Martin system with his record at Championship level previously, I think there's real potential there. He's going to be playing down the middle for them, he's going to be getting on the end of a lot of chances. And now we got the news that Joel Perrault will be sticking around at Swansea. I'm also going to chuck Perrault into my team for the time being. Two big outlays there, both costing 10 million. My two most expensive players in my team, but Perrault, we all know, if he stays fit over a full Championship season, will be in and around 20 goals. Along with that goal scoring touch, he also has creativity as well, so also has the chance to really bump up those assists, which will help with fantasy points. I don't think you can go wrong with a forward two of Adam Armstrong and Joel Perrault. As my third option, I've only got 6 million left in the bank, so I am going to have to go a little bit cheaper for my final option. These are the sort of players that we are talking about at the moment. I think there is quite a bit of potential with quite a few of them, you know. Myself personally though, I'm going to go for Morgan Whittaker, 6 million in at Plymouth. I think that Plymouth got a relatively decent start to the season, looking at their first 6 or 7 fixtures or so. I'm expecting him to be their main man going forward this season after a really promising loan spell with them in the first half of last season in League One. And ultimately I think he's a player with a bit of a point to prove as well after how things sort of unfolded for him the second half of last season with Swansea after he was recalled. But there we have it guys, that is my first initial draft for my fantasy team this season. Would welcome some of your thoughts in the comments down below. Any must-haves for you personally, do let me know. But you guys now know what I'm working with for the upcoming season, so make sure to go ahead and get involved with the Championship Fantasy Football League. I'll leave all you need to know with the details in the description down below. You will find the BenHD League code there, so you can go ahead and compete against everyone on the channel. And once again, one final plug for the Patreon. If you do want to get involved in that, you can sign up. Entry on the lowest tier will get you entry into the BenHD YouTube Patreon League, and you can also pick up some cool perks along the way as well. Apart from that though guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If you did go to enjoy, please do leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next one.